everyone, and welcome back to Chloe vs. Chinese, your ultimate guide to surviving culture shocks in China. I'm Chloe.
And I'm Daniel. Hello, everyone. Today, we are diving into a topic that gives me literal cold sweats just thinking about it. We are talking about the ultimate testing ground for any expat or international business person, the Chinese business dinner, or Shanggu Fanyu.
Ah, the famous Chinese fanju. Daniel, you sound like you've been traumatized by a dining table recently.
Traumatized is an understatement, Chloe. Last week, I was invited to a formal dinner with a potential Chinese design client. I thought, hey, it's just dinner. I know how to use chopsticks. I'm good to go. Oh boy, was I wrong. Within the first 30 minutes, I managed to turn the entire VIP dining room into a frozen wasteland of awkward silence.
Oh no, what did you do?
I thought I was being polite and friendly, but apparently, every move I made was a social landmine. By the end of the meal, the client looked at my business partner and asked if I was secretly sent by their competitors to sabotage the deal.
Yikes. Well, the good news is you survived to tell the tale. The bad news is you probably broke some of the most sacred rules of Chinese dining etiquette. To make sure our listeners don't accidentally destroy a $1 million business deal over a bowl of soup, today we are breaking down the top 5 things you should absolutely never do at a Chinese business dinner. Especially number 5, it involves a survival skill that will save your reputation and your liver.
Yes, please listen closely. Do not let my social sacrifice be in vain. Hit that subscribe button right now, give us a thumbs up, and let's save your next business dinner.
All right, let's start with rule number 1. Daniel, where did you sit when you walked into the private dining room?
Well, I walked in, saw the huge round table, and noticed the seat directly facing the door had the most amazing view. It looked like the power seat. So, being an assertive American, I walked right over, pulled out the chair, and sat down. I even gestured to the big boss and said, "Hey, Mr. Wang, grab a seat anywhere."
Oh my god, Daniel, you didn't. You sat in the zhu wei.
The zhui? What's that?
That is the seat of honor. In a Chinese fanju, seating arrangement is everything. It is a strict hierarchy. The seat, facing the entrance door, usually the one furthest away from the door, is exclusively reserved for the highest-ranking person in the room, the big boss, or the guest of honor. By taking that seat and telling the boss to sit anywhere, you basically declared yourself the emperor of the dinner.
Wow. No wonder Mr. Wang's assistant looked like she was about to faint. Where was I supposed to sit?
As the guest or a lower-ranking attendee, you should always wait for the host to assign you a seat, or take the seats closest to the entrance door, which are considered the lowest status seats. Never, ever rush to sit down first.
Okay, lesson learned. Wait for the host. But the awkwardness didn't stop there. Once the food arrived, rule number 2 kicked in. There was this incredible, beautiful steamed fish placed in the center of the revolving glass tray, the Lazy Susan. It looked delicious, so I spun the tray, grabbed my chopsticks, poked right into the fish, and took a huge bite before anyone else had touched it.
Daniel, you broke the golden rule of group dining. Rule number 2. Never eat before the host or the elders start, and never monopolize the food.
But it was just sitting there on the Lazy Susan.
It doesn't matter. At a Chinese table, you must always wait for the host to make the opening remarks and take the very first bite. This is called zheren dong kuaizi. Only after they start can everyone else eat. And when you do spin that revolving tray, you have to look around. If someone else is currently picking up food, spinning it away from them is incredibly rude. It's like stealing food right out of their hands.
Ah, I did notice a pair of chopsticks hovering in midair when I spun the fish toward me. Oops.
Exactly. Always let the elders and guests eat first. Now, what about rule number 3? I bet this involves your chopsticks.
How did you know? Okay, so halfway through the dinner, I needed to put my chopsticks down to grab my wine glass. The little ceramic chopstick rest was a bit far away, so I just stuck my chopsticks vertically right into my bowl of rice. I thought it looked neat and kept them from rolling around, but suddenly, the whole table went completely silent again. Mr. Wang literally stopped chewing.
Oh, Daniel. Sticking your chopsticks vertically into rice is called cha kuaizi. That is an absolute taboo in China.
Why? It's just holding the chopsticks.
Because to a Chinese person, vertical chopsticks in a bowl of rice look exactly like jinshuang, which are the incense sticks burned at a funeral or at an altar for the deceased. By doing that, you essentially turned the dinner table into a tomb and cursed everyone at the table to an early grave.
Oh my god. First I sit in the boss's seat, then I steal his fish, and then I turn his rice bowl into a funeral ritual? This dinner was a disaster.
It really sounds like a horror movie for etiquette lovers. Always place your chopsticks horizontally across your bowl or on the ceramic rest. Never stick them straight down.
Got it. Horizontal only. No funeral vibes at the table. Now, rule number 4 happened during the soup course. I wanted to show Mr. Wang that I was helpful and respectful. So I picked up the soup ladle, reached across the table, and served him some soup. But because the bowl was far away, I used my left hand to hold the ladle while my right hand was just resting on the table.
And let me guess, you didn't look at his glass either. Rule number 4 is all about the etiquette of serving and pouring. Or, in China, whenever you pour tea, wine, or serve food to a client or superior, you must always use ling ji shou, both hands.
Both hands for a ladle?
Yes. Using one hand, especially your non-dominant hand, looks casual, dismissive, and disrespectful. You should hold the ladle or bottle with your right hand, and gently place your left hand under your right wrist or elbow as a sign of support and humility. And remember the golden rule of pouring. Jim jing rain. Cha chi fin.
Wait, what does that mean?
It means wine cups should be filled to the absolute brim to show maximum respect. But teacups should only be filled 70% full, because hot tea to the brim will burn the guest's fingers.
Wow. 70% for tea, 100% for wine. The details are mind-blowing.
Speaking of wine, that leads us to the ultimate, most dramatic rule of any Chinese business dinner. Rule number 5, the art of the toast, or jingji. Daniel, please tell me you didn't mess this up too.
Oh, I messed it up beautifully. Mr. Wang stood up to toast me with a glass of bai. I was so excited. I stood up, raised my glass as high as I could, clinked his glass with a loud cheers, and slammed the whole shot down.
Oh, Daniel, where do I even begin? First of all, when toasting a boss or a client, the rim of your glass must always be lower than theirs when they touch. It's a physical demonstration of humility. By raising your glass higher, you are basically saying, I am superior to you.
Wow, I thought I was just being enthusiastic.
And second, bai is incredibly strong. If you drink the whole glass, which is called ganbei, you are setting a precedent. At a Chinese business dinner, the drinking culture is real, but you have to pace yourself. If you can't drink much, you should state it clearly at the beginning by saying, wo bu hu hei. But if you do accept a toast, you can say, wo sui yi, nin ganbei, meaning, I will drink as much as I can comfortably. Please drink at your own leisure. That saves your liver and your dignity.
Man, I wish I knew that before. I ended up singing karaoke with my tie tied around my head by 11 p.m. It was not my finest professional moment.
Well, look at the bright side. At least you provided great entertainment. Let's do a quick recap for everyone listening. At a Chinese business dinner, 1. Never sit in the seat of honor facing the door. 2. Never eat before the host or spin the tray rudely. 3. Never stick your chopsticks vertically in your rice. 4. Always serve others with both hands. And 5. Keep your glass lower during a toast and pace your drinking.
Brilliant! If I had known these 5 rules, I wouldn't be hiding from my clients' emails right now. Cultural etiquette isn't about arbitrary restrictions. It's about showing respect and making the other person feel valued in their own cultural context.
Exactly, Daniel. Well said. To our amazing audience, what is the craziest business dining rule in your country? Have you ever had a dinner disaster like Daniel?
Let us know in the comments below. We promise we read all of them. Don't forget to subscribe to Chloe vs Chinese. Leave a like and share this with your colleagues before your next corporate dinner.
Thank you for watching, everyone. Zaijian for now.
Zaijian. See you next time.